are you listening? Why does Commissioner Thorne and so many others question my decision in a special counsel? Lord, your flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child, I'm a little confused. I appointed 3 special counsel as is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one. I hired one white woman, a good personal friend and great lawyer. A superstar, I tell you. I hired one white man, brilliant, my friend, and a great lawyer. And I hired one black man, another superstar, a great friend, and a great lawyer. Oh Lord, they gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense. First thing they say, oh, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one?
Fani Willis, the district attorney down in Fulton County, who's prosecuting President Trump in his election interference case. You know that Fani Willis. So she's been in the news lately because it's been rumored that she's having a relationship with the special prosecutor, the black man that she hired on this case. But in order to defend herself, Fani Willis went to the place where all black, democratic, liberal women and men like to go. She went to a black church, namely an AME church, the Big Bethel AME church in Atlanta. The same way people were all mad about William Murphy swag surfing and walking it out because he was desecrating the pulpit, you need to be upset with this too, because these churches, the AME church, is nothing but a political arm of the Democratic Party. That's it. It is a political arm. They are community activists. They are social justice warriors. This is not the Church of Jesus Christ. These AME churches are not the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ. They are so far from their founding. Their mission is not to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Their mission is to preach the gospel of social justice. That is their mission. So it is not surprising that they have Fani Willis speak to them, talking about playing the race card and explaining why God would allow her to go through this.
And it really comes down to this. How much are you personally willing to sacrifice for the greater good and his purpose? How much? I want you to really sit and think about that question. How much are you willing to sacrifice for God's purpose?
Man, the fact that she's invoking the name of God in this is abhorrent. I'm mad about that. How in the world you invoke? That's why I say these people are not referencing the same God that believers reference. God did not put you in this situation. God is not using this to test you. You put yourself in this situation. You're the one that is practicing social justice. You're the one that is being accused of doing something. You're the one. God has nothing to do with this. But you have to understand something. When you go to these AME churches, these denominational churches in the black community, they're community centers. They're social justice centers. And so therefore, you get a welcoming audience. You get you are preaching to the choir when you talk about being oppressed and you talk about how racism is still in existence and how you are being persecuted because you are a black woman. God has nothing to do with this.
More than 50,000 cases not closed. You left that detail out. Wait a minute, God. 18,000 unindicted cases going back 7 years? Wait a minute, God. The morale of the staff is in the toilet. And some of them are unqualified around here. God, you gotta be kidding. 7 of the highest profile cases in the United States gonna land right here? No, please make it stop. God, you forgot to mention that my life and the life of my family would be threatened so regularly, I now think it's not normal if I don't have 2 death threats a week. God, you did not tell me that people would call me the N-word more than they call me Fani.
I tell you, boy, these race hustlers and these liberals in the black community, they are so full of it. The fact she's talking about how God has placed her in this situation, that God gave her this position that has to deal with all these issues, and how she's been called the N-word and these kind of things, she probably has. That comes with the territory. That comes with being a prosecutor. She didn't say who called her the N-word, did she? She didn't say that. She's implying that she's been called the N-word by white people. But I bet some young black people call her the N-word more than anything else as well. But the point is this. The church. This church is allowing this to happen. They are allowing this woman to stand in their pulpit and have a politically charged message. And no one says a word about it. But yet the same people that got mad at William Murphy will say nothing about this because they like Fani Willis and they hate Donald Trump. Those same folks. You can't be a hypocrite. You have to call it out when Bishop William Murphy does it, and you have to call it out when this church does it. It is the same. And the fact that she's playing the victim up here is absurd.
Defense lawyer, special assistant attorney general, won Chief Justice Robert Benham Award from the State Bar of Georgia. You know, they ain't just giving this to black men. How come God, the same black man I hired, was acceptable when a Republican in another county hired him and paid him twice the rate? Oh, y'all ain't hear me. In another county, the elected official has the authority to pay him twice the rate. Why is the white male Republican's judgment good enough, but the black female Democrats not? Now please hear me. I'm not criticizing his judgment. The people of his county elected him to make that decision. In fact, let me put it on the record. He's someone I respect because he was always willing to hire diversity. He was just looking for quality. I don't care political party. They care about it. My only question is, why is it questioned me? Lord, now I want to be clear. All three of these special counselors are superstars. But I'm just asking God, is it that some will never see a black man as qualified, no matter his achievements? What more can one achieve? The other two have never been judges, but no one questions their credentials. I'm just saying. Lord, I'm just asking, is it that I, because of the shell you chose to put me in, will never be qualified in their eyes to make the decisions the voters put me here to make? Lord, never mind your flawed, imperfect servant has composed a team that wins, and wins.
There you go. That's what happens when you have a church that is not built on spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ. That is what happens when you have a building and a people there that are more concerned about the feelings of a black woman than they are about the truth, than they are about spreading the gospel. That's why I say these churches are not churches. These are community activist centers. These are centers for social justice. That's what they are. Centers for social justice. And it's ironic and it's fitting that it is in Atlanta because this is the legacy of Dr. King. This is his legacy. These centers for social justice in the black community that do not enable the uplifting of black people. All they enable is the uplifting of the Democratic Party in the black community, and it leads to the denigration and the deflating of the community. These people don't care about black people. They care about political power, and this is just the latest example.